Welcome to Women Tennis USA. I am your anchor bringing you the latest and most comprehensive coverage from the world of women's tennis, and tonight the global spotlight is fixed firmly on a performance that has sent shockwaves through the sport, a performance so commanding, so mature, and so electrifying that it has redefined expectations and forced the tennis world to recalibrate its understanding of greatness in the making, because Coco Gauff has delivered something unreal. What unfolded on court was not simply a victory recorded on a scoreboard, it was a statement written with precision, speed, and fearless intent, a statement that echoed from the baseline to the upper decks and far beyond the stadium walls, reaching former champions, analysts, rivals, and fans across the world. Coco Gauff did not just win, she dominated the moment, controlled the narrative, and imposed her will with a clarity that belied her age and underscored her evolution into a complete and formidable force in women's tennis. From the opening point, there was a noticeable shift in energy. The posture was different, the movement sharper, the eyes locked in with a sense of purpose that suggested this was not about surviving pressure, but about applying it. Her footwork was economically yet explosive, allowing her to transition seamlessly from defense to offense. Every step appeared calculated, every recovery step timed perfectly, and every change of direction executed with balance and confidence. This was not reactive tennis. This was proactive domination. Her serve, long considered a work in progress earlier in her career, emerged as a weapon of authority. The placement was surgical, the pace deceptive, and the variety relentless. Flat serves out wide, heavy kick serves that jumped above shoulder height, body serves that cramped opponents and forced weak replies. It was not just about aces or unreturnables, it was about setting up the point on her terms, and she did so repeatedly, turning service games into platforms for control rather than moments of vulnerability. Equally striking was the return game. Coco Gauff stood tall, reading serves with the instincts of a veteran and the reflexes of an elite athlete. She took the ball early, redirecting pace with calm efficiency, neutralizing even the strongest servers with depth and angle. Her ability to step inside the baseline and take time away sent a clear message that passive patterns would not survive against her on this day. Each return landed with intent, often forcing immediate defense and flipping the balance of rallies within seconds. The baseline exchanges told an even more compelling story. Her forehand, once scrutinized and overanalyzed, flowed with confidence and purpose. The swing was free, the contact clean, and the margin intelligently managed. She did not chase low-percentage winners, instead constructing points with patience, opening the court methodically, and then striking decisively when the moment presented itself. The backhand, already a known strength, was simply devastating. Down the line, cross-court, on the run, or from a planted stance, it remained unbreakable, a wall and a weapon in equal measure. What truly separated this performance from others, however, was the mental command she displayed. Pressure moments arrived, as they always do at the highest level, but they never seemed to rattle her. Break points were met with courage, not caution. Tight games were navigated with clarity, not chaos. She trusted her patterns, trusted her preparation, and trusted herself. This was the kind of mental strength that cannot be improvised, it is earned through experience, discipline, and growth. Veteran analyst Mary Carillo, observing closely, emphasized how rare it is to see such composure paired with athletic brilliance at this stage of a career. She noted that what stood out was not just the power or speed, but the decision-making, the awareness of when to press and when to absorb, when to attack and when to reset. According to Carillo, this was a performance that reflected a player who understands the geometry of the court and the psychology of competition at an elite level. As the match progressed, the opponents searched for answers, attempting changes in pace, variations in spin, and tactical adjustments designed to disrupt rhythm. None of it worked. Coco Gauff anticipated the shifts, adapting on the fly, adjusting her court position, and maintaining control of the tempo. Drop shots were chased down and neutralized. High looping balls were punished with authority. Short replies were met with decisive movement forward and clean finishing at the net. Her net play deserves particular attention. Often overlooked in modern baseline-heavy tennis, Gauff's willingness to move forward added another dimension to her dominance. The volleys were crisp, the approach shots well-timed, and the overheads delivered with confidence. This willingness to finish points, to step inside the court and close, demonstrated a completeness that many players take years to develop. The physical conditioning was equally evident. Long rallies did not wear her down, they wore opponents out. Her speed across the court remained constant deep into the match, her recovery between points measured and efficient. There was no visible dip in intensity, no lapse in focus. This level of fitness, combined with technical precision, created a suffocating effect that left little room for resistance. Beyond the numbers, beyond the statistics that will be analyzed and archived, there was a sense that something significant was unfolding in real time. The crowd felt it. The commentators felt it. Even those watching from afar felt the shift. This was not just another win in a long season. This was a performance that recalibrated expectations and redefined what Coco Gauff represents in the current landscape of women's tennis. For American tennis, the implications are profound. The United States has long searched for the next dominant figure, a player capable of carrying both competitive excellence and cultural impact. In this performance, Coco Gauff did more than win a match, she carried the weight of that expectation with grace and authority, showing that she is not burdened by the spotlight but fueled by it. Her journey to this moment has been well documented, from early breakthroughs and headline-making victories to the challenges of consistency and the pressure of expectations. What we are witnessing now is the result of that journey maturing into mastery. The lessons learned from tough losses, the adjustments made behind the scenes, the quiet hours on practice courts refining technique and strategy, all of it converged into a performance that felt inevitable rather than accidental. Mary Carillo highlighted how this evolution is the hallmark of champions, noting that the greatest players are not defined by early success alone, but by their ability to adapt, to listen, and to grow. According to her analysis, Coco Gauff has entered a phase where talent is now fully aligned with understanding, creating a player capable of sustained excellence at the highest level. The ripple effects of this performance are already being felt. Rivals are taking notice, recalibrating scouting reports and preparing for a new level of challenge. Coaches and analysts are dissecting patterns, searching for answers to questions that are becoming increasingly difficult to solve. Fans are dreaming bigger, envisioning not just isolated victories, but eras defined by dominance and resilience. Yet perhaps the most remarkable aspect of this unreal performance is the sense that it may only be the beginning of something even greater. There was no sense of desperation, no sign that this was a peak moment reached through overexertion. Instead, it felt controlled, sustainable, and repeatable. The calmness with which Coco Gauff handled success suggested an understanding that excellence is not a destination, but a process. As the tennis world continues to process what it has witnessed, one thing is clear. This was not hype fulfilled, it was potential realized. Coco Gauff did not shock the tennis world by accident. She did it through preparation, belief, and a relentless commitment to improvement. The unreal nature of the performance lies not in its surprise, but in its completeness. This is Women Tennis USA, and we will continue to follow every step of this unfolding story, bringing you insight, analysis, and perspective as Coco Gauff's journey continues to reshape the landscape of women's tennis. The world has been put on notice, and the message could not be clearer. Coco Gauff has arrived, not as a promise of the future, but as a force of the present, and the game may never look the same again.